What's up, y'all? It's Will here at Schedulefly. So this is an interesting episode with Ace Cunnings. He works at Penn's Mechanical in Columbus, Ohio, and he's also a magician. So we actually got to talk about magic and his background in it, and of course he does magic at work in addition to quite a few other things. But loves hospitality, loves doing magic for people, loves making people smile. Towards the end of the episode, he actually does some magic. We did this via Zoom. So when he gets to that point, if you're just on listening to the podcast, you're welcome to tune out. We didn't really cover anything after that. But we do post these on YouTube, so you can certainly go to our YouTube channel and watch. You can find the episode there and enjoy that. So that is all. And the only last thing I'll say is please give us a rating. I've been asking that lately. I'll keep doing that. I think we're at like close to 50 ratings. It'd be great if we could get just 75 or 100. Really 100 I think would be super ideal. So if you've got 5 seconds, hop down, click the stars, do a quick rating. If you have time to make a comment, even better. Thank you so much. And the last thing I will say is if you're a listener of this podcast and you or somebody that would like to be on the podcast, let us know. We're enjoy doing these podcasts very much. We'll never run out of stories to tell. We'll never run out of interest in meeting folks that, the only criteria is that you love hospitality. And if you love hospitality, whether you're an owner or an employee, whether you've been at it for 3 decades or, 3 months, and you're interested in sharing your story, hit us up. Love to have you on. Just shoot us a note over to support@schedulefly.com. Thank y'all for listening, and enjoy the episode. See you. Nice. Check out the pen.
Had to represent, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Love it, man. Actually, Ace, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Ace Cunnings. I was from Orlando, Florida. Now I live in Ohio. I work for Rise Brands, which is a bunch of companies put together, but ultimately I'm a magician first off. So, yeah.
Nice, man. A magician. I love it. Cool. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this today, Ace.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Well, look, you were very kind to send a nice note to us when we were dealing with our ransomware, and we just sincerely appreciated that, and means a lot, man. So that's real kind of you to do that. That is the core of what hospitality is all about, thinking about others and how they feel. And so that was huge, man. Okay, so I want to ask you about. Well, I definitely want to ask you about some magic. I want to ask you about your career in hospitality and, how you got started and what took you from Orlando to Ohio, and just kind of give me the lowdown on how this all came about.
Okay. So let's see. I was born in Ohio, and then I was raised in South Carolina. We moved to Florida for schooling and back to South Carolina. Then back to Florida. Now I'm here. I've been here for almost 4 years. I started in hospitality when I was 17. I did Santos and Company, which is an Italian restaurant that closed down in Florida right after I left. Not because of me. I like to think that I held the glue, but
Yeah.
After my second job was Walt Disney World.
Okay.
And they trained me and to be like the best person for hospitality, the best host, if you were. From there, I did other jobs. I opened like Old Navy store in South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay.
And I worked with other companies Then I went back to Florida. I got the itch for Disney, and I just went back to Disney, and they put me in parade audience control, which is basically safety of the parade route and making sure everybody's safe. From then, they figured out that I was a magician, and so there I did magical moments on Main Street. So I can always say I was a magician on Main Street, USA.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Then from there, I haven't seen my family at that point for like 3 years. So I had to move back up here. And now I'm only 2 hours away from my parents, and it's all working out so far. I went to, what's that place called? It's just down the road. It's a winery and restaurant. The Cooper's Hawk. Cooper's
Okay.
Hawk. It's just down the road from Penn's Mechanical in Easton.
Okay.
I was a host there for like 2 years and maybe 3. Then the pandemic happened, and then I went into another hospitality job with basically working with insurance. I was a call rep, and that didn't work out because I'm not a desk kind of guy. I like to be face to face with people. Then I went into from there I found pens, and I've never stopped.
Oh, that's great. Well, so Pins is part of Rise Brands, as you said, and Rise Brands, you said, I mean, there's a lot of different brands within Rise. It's a from what I've seen, I mean, we've been lucky to serve Rise for a while, and it seems like you really run a lot of just great businesses, great concepts, great people, a lot of energy. And it seems to be a very well-run business from the outside looking in, from what I can tell.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, so tell us about Pins.
Pens, basically, once I first started, they made you feel like you're part of the family, and their training is top notch, close to Disney's, but not quite. You know what I mean? But they're there with you if you have any questions, answers. They'll work with you. Just recently, I put in information that I could give them. I told them, since we have so many pens, like, because they're attached to strings and we have to change them out every so often, since we have so many of those, why don't we paint one gold and make it for like a golden pen for one of the employees of the week? And so they ran with it, and now they're doing it. So
that's cool.
A lot of fun.
That's very cool. Well, yeah. So, I mean, you mentioned, I mean, Disney's like, top of the heap globally, really, with their ability to train people and to provide these. I mean, people go there and learn from them and go on and do all kinds of amazing things. It's incredible. I have 3 kids. We've been to Disney a couple of times. We've been on some Disney cruises. I mean, their hospitality is just, it's off the charts. So you're there at Penn. What are you doing for Pens?
I'm experience, which I make sure everybody's having a good time. Also, I'm cleaning up the tables on the weekdays. On the weekends, I'm doing magic. So every weekend I'm doing magic. So technically, I did the same thing that I did when I was at Disney. They found out that I was a magician, and they used me for it in a good way. Yeah. So yeah, I do want to tell you, like, the definition of the Rise Brands and the pens. This is a gaming bar. So there's bowling, there's arcade games, which you can play for free. If you put any quarters in, it goes directly to Ronald McDonald's house. And like pinball machines, those are $1 per play. Bowling, it's the smaller lanes. It's called duck pin bowling. So you have smaller lanes and you get 3 rolls per turn because it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But their pinball machines are amazing. We have a pinball alley. There's bocce and uh, they like to call it patio pong, but it's like beer pong with big balls and trash can buckets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Sounds like a fun place.
it was a lot. It's still a lot of fun. I can't get enough of it. I even go on my off days sometimes.
I bet. I think I'm in Charlotte, outside of Charlotte. We have one here now. I need to check it out. Yeah, they've been opening a lot of those, it seems like. Well, so, okay. So how did you get into magic, man? I don't know that I've ever actually met a magician. So I'm super intrigued.
I've been doing magic since I was 5 years old. I got the magic hook when I went to go see David Copperfield. And
Okay.
I love the fact that he made you feel like he's your best friend on stage. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do. I saw that. I knew that it took guts to be on stage, but I wanted to strive in it and like push the guts away, if you know what I mean, and get on stage. So I started as a Christian magician or a gospel magician, and I traveled all around my town in Aiken, South Carolina, from church to church, teaching,
Oh,
not preaching the word of God. And
right.
then from there, I went into street magic at age 18 because I was old enough to go out on my own, do what I need to do to get extra cash, basically. And it worked. It worked for the longest time. I was a street magician for a while, part-time. And then right now, it feels like, even though I'm doing this part-time, it still feels like I'm doing it full-time. So we stand on the shoulders of giants, right? Right.
Yeah.
So I go to conventions, I work at conventions sometimes, and I met David Blaine. I've met all the big stars that give me motivation, that say keep striving. Have you met? Do you know Justin William?
I do not.
He's on Netflix, Magic for Humans. He told me to never stop, and from then on, I never stopped. I kept striving even more to
Yeah.
just make people smile. My job in my life is to make people smile. If I make you smile, I have done my job.
Well, you have a great smile yourself, my friend.
Thank you.
So no, I don't know. Okay, so Justin, we'll have to check that out on Netflix. I certainly have seen David Blaine do some. You're not about to stick a needle through your arm while we're talking, are you?
No, he's a little extreme, but he taught me some things.
Yeah, I bet. No, he's great. I mean, he's he knows how to keep people watching, keep people engaged. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So you do magic at Pins.
Absolutely. Every weekend, unless I'm
Okay.
on vacation or going to another event.
Like what kind of stuff do you enjoy doing the most? Like, I mean, like, do you do stuff with cards, or do you just like what kind of things do you enjoy the most?
Well, my name's Ace, so I have to do cards. It's
Yeah.
given. So I still practice and practice and practice cards, because if it's in the name, you got to use it.
Yeah.
But I like coin tricks, card tricks, sponge balls, anything that you can keep in your pockets.
Yeah.
I had an epiphany when I was like 10 years old. The smallest tricks give the biggest reactions.
Huh. Okay.
Especially if it's something you've used on a daily basis.
Yeah. Okay. Got
So,
it.
can I show you something?
Yeah, please do, man.
Okay. Let's see if right here. Yeah. Can you see that?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And right here, kind of looks like Pac-Man. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Waka waka.
Like
Yeah.
you're building a quarter somehow or another. I don't get this.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of a quarter.
Yeah.
Or 3/4, and there's the whole thing.
Man, wait a minute now. So that's a quarter?
That's a quarter. If you were here, I would give it to you to examine. You can test it all you want.
Yeah.
So
Very cool. I love it.
thanks.
So you have to spend, I've got to imagine, a significant amount of time practicing and perfecting these, because you can't mess up. I mean, when you're you're doing magic in front of somebody, the magic's lost if you don't get it right. So you got to work really hard.
What makes it even more pressure for me is that, well, I put the pressure on myself because I strive to do something new each weekend. I might have the same set, but I'm also going to bring in something new. So the people that come in are regulars. I can show them something new. So
how do you learn this stuff? Like, who do you learn from other people? Do you invent your own like what? How does that work?
Like I said, that we have conventions where all the magicians come in, just like any regular convention. You've been to a convention too, haven't you?
Not for magic, but yeah, I've been there.
You know what I mean? They have conventions for different things. There's comic book conventions and stuff like that. Magic has its own convention for all magicians. Everyone's welcome. You just have to pay to get in, you know?
I got you. But you weren't going to conventions when you were a kid. You must have been learning from reading and I mean, how did you learn when you were young and you first started going out?
Like I said, I saw David Copperfield on stage. I saw his show 3 times. It was the same thing, but it still felt new.
Yeah.
It also felt like I was his best friend. So when I was 5, there was a magician at our church that came in, and I wouldn't stop asking him questions.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, I'll let you have this thing if you work on it and come back to me and it looks good, I'll show you something new. So it went up from there. For me, the new age kind of thing is to go on YouTube and search videos and stuff like that. But I have books down here that roll all the way down the wall right now.
Yeah.
I read books. Yes, I go online and do stuff. There are websites for shops, magic shops and stuff. When I get something new, before it took me weeks, maybe even months to master before I showed my parents. And then now it's like I get the trick. I practice it for a few hours. I show my wife, and then I practice it on somebody on the street or at work at Penn's. So it doesn't take me that long now, but that didn't happen without practicing until now. You know what I mean?
I do. So you mentioned that, as a magician, your job, your job is to make people smile. And I'd bring that right back to just, that's hospitality, right? Like your mechanism for doing that may be magic, but what this really is you've got since that's what you're after, is the way you felt when you saw David Copperfield was that he made you feel like he was your friend from the stage, and you loved how that felt inside because it seemed like you were connecting with somebody. And I really view that as what hospitality is really all about. It's how you make other people feel and wanting to come back for more, so to speak. You watched his show 3 times and kept going back for more. And there's something intangible about that. You've got it. People that love hospitality have it. Some of it can be learned, but I think a lot of it's just an innate thing of people that just enjoy welcoming others into their world and making them feel good and feel happy and have a good memory, whether that's serving them or, hosting them or greeting them or sharing magic in front of them. I mean, that's clearly something that you're wired to do and clearly enjoy.
So, do you mind if I show you some more? I think I got like 3 tricks up my sleeve.
Go for it, man. I'm
All
all
right.
down with it. Yeah, for sure.
I did show you the quarter, and
Yeah.
I just want you to examine it. If you were here, I'd give you it in your hand,
Yeah, it looks,
and
I
then
mean, it looks legit.
I'll place it in my hand and rub it. Now, rubbing it creates friction, and friction creates what?
Heat.
Heat, exactly. So if I heat it up enough, I can make it look like it's bent just a little bit, right?
Wow. Okay.
But here, I can actually bend it.
Oh man, that is sweet. That is so cool.
And what I like about this trick is that it doesn't have to be in my hands. It can bend in your hands.
Very cool.
With cards, I'm going to start off with imagination. You can use your imagination, right?
Yeah.
We all can. I want you to imagine that there's a deck of cards spread out above you. Can you imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now imagine those deck of cards are on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Now there's multiple ways of dividing a deck. This is my way. You have the face cards and you have the number cards. Which ones do you want to burn, the face or the number?
Let's go with the number.
With the numbers? Okay.
Yeah.
Now with the face cards, we have men and we have women. Which ones do you want to burn? And we're going to try to get one card out of the flames.
We'll burn the men.
Okay. Now what's left are the women. So we have hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds. We have red cards. We have black cards. Which ones do you want, the red or the black?
Let's go with the black ones.
The black ones. Okay. So with the black, we have clubs and we have spades, clubs and spades. Hang on. Before you answer, there's one burnt card.
Okay.
Clubs or spades?
Clubs.
Queen of clubs.
Oh my God. That's what I was, that's amazing, dude. Wow.
Okay. So you used your imagination. Now let's use reality.
All right.
These are, since we're so close to Valentine's Day and Pins is having a special on Valentine's Day.
By the way, what city are you in? Where is Pins, the one where you work?
Pins is in Easton, the one that I work at. I do it every weekend. Easton Town Center. You can look it up. It's right there. It's one of the biggest places in Easton, and I think it's the south part of Easton, next to there's a shopping center. There's just down the street. There's a Slurping Turtle.
Because Easton is where in Ohio is Easton? Are you near any other big cities?
It's a suburb of Columbus.
Oh, Columbus. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Columbus,
Okay.
Ohio. So, like I said, we're celebrating Valentine's Day. We're also celebrating the Super Bowl. Are you excited for the Super Bowl?
I am indeed.
Yeah. Who are you voting for or rooting for?
Well, since you're from Ohio, I should probably Cincinnati. I'm rooting for a good game. I would not mind either team winning. I like people on both teams. But I certainly think it'd be really cool for Cincinnati if the Bengals won. I don't think the city has celebrated a championship in either of the professional sports since like the Reds won in like 1990. So I guess if it comes down to it, I might go for the Bengals.
All right. I'm not a big sports fan myself, but I do watch the Super Bowl a lot. I love the halftime show, but honestly, my parents got me off Super Bowl. They started yelling at the TV, which I didn't have any clue why,
Yeah.
because they can't hear you.
Right.
That was my thought process. But anyway, Valentine's Day is coming up. I have a Valentine's Day card. It's called deck. It's called Love Me.
All right.
You can see a better version and a full version on my TikTok. But these are all different. Right?
All right.
Okay. So my name's Ace.
All right.
That's the second ace.
Wow. Okay.
There's a third ace.
All right.
Last but not least, I'm going to give you a choice. Would you like to see the last ace on top, middle, or bottom?
Middle.
Middle. Watch the deck. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Out of the center of the deck is the ace of diamonds.
It is. Nice. Nice, man. Like
Thank
it.
you.
Good stuff, my friend.
Appreciate it.
So look, so you mentioned your TikTok people can find you on TikTok. Obviously, I know they can find you on Instagram. That's where you and I connected. How do they find you on TikTok?
Basically, if you go on Google and search in Ace Cunnings, I'm the first to pop up. There's also Instagram. I'm on all the socials. So if you like to follow me on any of them, I would be muchly appreciated. And I will definitely follow you back.
That's cool. All right. There you go. Ace Cunnings. Ace, man, thank you again. Thank you most importantly for reaching out to us at a tough time for us. It was super cool of you to do that. Super hospitable, super appreciated by all of us here. And thank you for taking the time to do this, man. This is fun. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I was not expecting to get to see a magic show today. So that made my day, man. That was really cool. I can't wait. I'll show my kids.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And if you want, come on down to Rise Brands and come into Penn's Mechanical in Easton, and I'll show you some more. See you later.
Yeah. All right. See you, Ace. Take care. Bye.